Okay, I've just bundled all these wires up. As you can see here, these two from the top rad hose down here, then along here. These are all just for the external sensor wires, so oil pressure, oil temperature, fuel pressure. This is the oil temperature sender, and then they all just go into there. So again, it doesn't look amazing, but it certainly looks a lot cleaner than it did, so that's better. And I'm hoping that because I've done a better job of trying to mount some of this stuff, it will be flapping about a bit less. I might just zip tie these together and onto this bit of wiring loom. As I go to pull out the dipstick, it kind of gets caught. It'd be a lot nicer if that little bit of the stud wasn't there. I'm going to try my hardest just to take that bolt out, take the stud out, and not take the whole manifold off because I can't be bothered. So I'm down in here, I've taken that nut off, and I've got my brand new invention of the soft grip pliers, which I'll show you, patent pending. That's the stud out, and that's my soft grip pliers with some material taped on. And all I need to do is just cut a bit off this, and you can see they all stick out about the same amount, so I need to cut about I don't know, 4 or 5 threads off the end of it, and then I'll be able to slip the dipstick in and out much easier. My method is probably a few people shouting at the screen, but this is how I'm going to do it. I've measured how much I want to take off. It's that much. I've got it in the die, and I've got this in the soft jaws as well, so it's not going anywhere. And what I'm going to do is just cut off however much I want to cut off, and then move the die back a bit, sand any rough edges, and then I can just bring the die back and it will just cut off the little bit of thread left of rough edge. Now I'm just going to back that in there a bit, use my bench grinder just to kind of clean up the edge, and then just pull that back over the top and it'll clean the edge up. That's the grinder just running down now. You can see here that's what I'm left with, and that's why I've got it in this tool, so I can just back the whole thing out using my soft jaw pliers, so not damage the thread, and it will just kind of clean up the edge of that thread. I'm going to wind it in like that, and you see my new end is all cut. There's the studded in situ, where my finger is, and that's how much you really want to get sticking out. And now I'm just going to put the 30mm nut on, tighten up, and show you how the dipstick goes in nicely. Now, struggle before, and now it's just a matter of just pulling it out, and it's just okay. You still got some stuff in the way, but not as bad as having all that thread sticking out and catching on that little rubber boot thing. So that's a good job done, I think. Here you can see the intercooler pipe. It is probably the lowest part of the car. I don't want to get it scraped or anything, so I do want to raise it up. But before I do that, I'm going to have to wrap it with some insulation, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do a very temporary job at the moment with some of those metal zip ties and some heat wrap I've already got. That will just save from getting stupidly hot from the down pipe, which I'm not going to wrap yet because I still need to get it modified. I think I'm going to give you a little run through just out of your own interest. So first of all, I'm going to go and open up my map like so, and then if I go to data logging here, load, I'm going to do the first drive map. Okay, and what's interesting to have a look at is first of all showing my lambda, so areas where I was rich here, so air fuel ratio, the lower the value the richer you are, and the higher the value the more air to the fuel you have. So it's quite lean there. Have a look at the right table, so you can see it's only a small table at the moment, like 10 up to 10 rows, but if I have a look here, I've actually got a 4-bar map sensor, so you want to have a look at where you are compared to the full table. It'll be much more important for you. So you can see here it's only up to 7.7 psi because I've got a wastegate spring at 7.7, so well 7, so it can't go really much more than that. And this is actually the full view of my table there. If I go to the next button along, it gives you an estimate of the extra fuel, or say plus numbers and minus numbers. So the positive numbers you need to add fuel, and the negative numbers you need to take away fuel to get to your target lambda. So that's quite interesting. I've got some kind of big values here, 16% lacking in fuel at some point, so I need to add quite a bit more fuel in. But the good news is that that was generally at much lower boost, so as I went to higher boost, my fueling actually came in and much better. So there's a lot to learn with this, and data logging is a very good way of being able to take some data and then be able to go and change your fueling, at least to begin with, to make it so you could actually drive the car good enough to the dyno at least. So that's just a little overview of what I've learnt so far, and I'll tell you more when I found out more. Another job I haven't done yet is fit this turbo blanket. It comes with the gloves, so guessing because this is spiky or something and it will go in your fingers, so wear gloves when you put these on. And I'll just see what kind of fit we have on there. I'll have to take it off eventually because I need to take the downpipe off again, but at least this will give me an idea of how it fits. So it's quite a simple setup. You're just placing it on, and then you've got these springs, and the springs go on here to hold it together, because of course it can't go the whole way around because it's on the manifold. So let's just put it on and see how we get on. Here it is. This one's actually made by Teguwa in the UK. It seems to fit quite nicely. Now I'm just going to see if I can get these springs on without slicing my hands open. It's just I've got a slightly strange setup, but where I've got that oil pipe, I basically can't get in between the manifold and the other side of the pipe with the springs, so it's going to have to be like that, kind of round the pipe, but it doesn't look too uncomfortable there. Let's try and put the other one on. So I've got the spring on the other side. I did actually get the spring on that side as well, but I'm going to take it off now because I need to drop the downpipe off anyway. But I just thought I'd show you kind of what it looks like, obviously with that other spring the other side, and that's it. And that will do a good job of trying to stop all the radiating heat from that turbine housing. But obviously I've still got to wrap this intercooler pipe, which I will do, and get this modified, this downpipes. So here I've got some heat blanket. I'm just going to wrap this around the intercooler pipe to keep some of the heat off it from the exhaust downpipe, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's up installed. Here we have it roughly in place. Then I'm going to use some of these metal zip ties wherever they are here, and just put them on. Not really the prettiest of things, but I think that's going to do a good job. It's certainly going to protect the intercooler piping there, and I also undid the pipe at the top and pushed it up, and in that way we've got a bit more ground clearance. So that's all done now.